Good morning, guys. My name is Sean Dex and I welcome you back to the Mango Grow for a daily Bitcoin and Ethereum analysis video. Yes, we are finally going to be covering Ethereum. I did get a request in the comment sections down below for an Ethereum analysis, and in fact, I actually did add to my long-term position on Ethereum just this morning. So hey, we do have some interesting things to talk about on Ethereum, so we're going to be covering that today. But as usual, we're going to be starting off with Bitcoin. Now, in today's video, we're going to go ahead and just do a quick update on what we covered yesterday. So I do suggest going ahead and checking out yesterday's video, guys. I do cover the higher time frames, the 4-day and the weekly time frame mainly, but we did touch on the 12-hour time frame because Bitcoin was doing something really interesting on the 12-hour, but we wanted to see some follow-up, right? So go ahead and check out that video. It'll give you guys more context to what we're going to be discussing in today's video. But hey, if you're lazy, sure, you can watch today's video directly. I will try and summarize what we talked about. And over here on the Mango Research dashboard, by the way, available at app.mangoresearch.co, the free version as well as the premium version. And over here, you guys can see that we're looking at the 4-day time frame on the dashboard currently. And the reason I want to highlight this is because, hey, look at this, the reversal date. Okay, this trend, this long signal reversal that we got was all the way back in October 22nd. Ever since then, we didn't have to do anything. Okay, so essentially this reversal column over here, guys, tells you when your last action had to be taken. The last time you actually had to do anything was October 22nd. That was what, 20 days ago now? This is what I mean by a stress-free trading approach, right? Trying to do as little as possible and still achieving as much as possible. Now, of course, you guys can try and optimize and trade the lower time frames, the 4-hour and the 12-hour. You'll get exits at a better price and you'll be able to buy at a lower price, and you'll probably be able to get better returns than 30%. Okay, but is it worth the stress? That's the question you got to ask yourself. To some traders who love it, they completely say, hey, it's worth it. Not only am I making more money, but hey, I am also enjoying myself, right? So trading is a very personal experience, guys. Try not to copy someone else's approach entirely. Try to tailor it to make it your own. But I always advocate always keeping that stress-free as possible because you can make easier decisions. All right, so enough of that. Let's go ahead and get on over to Bitcoin over here on the 12-hour and quick update on what we were discussing yesterday. Okay, in yesterday's video, we were at this candle over here. Okay, this candle, this green candle that closed above this horizontal over here at 15,615. Okay, 15,600. Let's round off. And what were we looking for, guys? We were looking for the next 12-hour candle to, one, close above this horizontal as well, and two, we wanted this high to be taken out as well on the follow-up, right? That would have entailed that the daily would have done what we wanted it to do, which is essentially closing above the same horizontal and taking out the previous day's high, right? Now we'll get back on over to the daily, but what I want to emphasize over here is, look at this, guys. This is why I always say, one, wait for confirmation if you're looking at the lower time frames. And when I say lower time frames confirmation, I'm looking for 2 candle closes as well as something else usually, right? Depending on how low you are going. The higher the time frame, the more leeway I'm willing to give it. Because yesterday's video on the daily, all we were looking for is a candle close above and then the high being taken out. I didn't need another candle close right after, right? Just one candle close and the high being taken out. On the 12-hour, however, look at my mindset. Look at me being a little bit more cautious, and rightfully so, right? Because I was looking for a 12-hour candle close above, another 12-hour candle close above, and then the high be taken out. Now, if you had been a little bit more anxious or excited and got into the trade right over here, look at what happened after. Guys, this is brutal. This is completely brutal. This is the kind of thing that when I see, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not touching the lower time frames. In fact, if you went on over to the 4-hour time frame, yeah, this looks even worse, right? So you have this nice little bullish candle over here, and then right after, a very bearish candle, and you'd expect to see follow through towards the downside right after, right? But nope. All you have is sideways action, so no follow through. However, one could say that, hey, the trend is still intact, and yes, it is, but you don't need to be wrecking yourself in the lower time frames with this, right? Because you have to go through this bull flag, right, that everybody was probably looking at it as, But over here on the stream over the weekend, we said, hey guys, a lot of amateur traders are likely going to miss this little aspect over here that's really, really important, that is leaning me bearish. Now, these little nitty-gritty things that more experienced traders are going to that experienced traders would notice automatically, right? They would notice automatically. The newer traders are going to miss it. And if you miss it, you're going to take bad trades. And this is another example as to why you should stay away from the lower time frames, because there are more candles that are giving you information that you could be missing that could be important on the lower time frame, right? So all of this action over here was lower time frame action. But would it have mattered if you're playing the higher time frames? No, because in the higher time frames, all got undone. But on the 4-hour, your position size would have likely been disastrous if you were in a trade over here looking for upside and boom, towards the downside, got in freaking wrecked, probably even shook out of a significant amount of your BTC and then pumped towards the upside. Okay, guys, do the mango way. That's a summary of this entire segment over here. Do the mango way, do the stress-free way. If you can do the mango way on the lower time frames, the stress-free way on the lower time frames, by all means. But Bitcoin very rarely gives you that opportunity, okay? It shows up, but very rarely. If you guys even think back to my altcoin run, right? There was a window of opportunity where I realized, hey, I can trade the 4-hour and the 12-hour with a very stress-free approach. And we pounced. Man, did we pounce. And hey, the rest of the year became stress-free. All right, so that's the 4-hour. Let's go back on over to the 12-hour. Remove these drawings over here. So again, guys, we are looking for the candle close above here, and then the high being taken out above here, neither of which happened, right? Now, this isn't the prettiest picture, but if we switch on over to the daily, we'll get a clearer picture. In fact, I want to see what the dashboard says on the 12-hour. Probably gave you either a short signal, and now Bitcoin's simply going sideways. So that's what I mean by chop, right? And here we have the 12-hour Bitcoin. Okay, fair enough. The dashboard actually did say neutral, but when did this happen? Was it today? Okay, it actually switched yesterday. Okay, cool. So even though the dashboard got it right this time, it's the 12-hour, right? So again, be careful regardless on the lower time frames. Regardless, be careful on the lower time frames. We'll check out Ethereum too. The 12-hour gave you a long November 5th, and hey, perhaps I could have taken an earlier trade myself. And we'll keep an eye on the lower time frames, the 12-hour time frame for things like Ethereum and Link especially. But back on over to the charts over here. What I want to focus on today, guys, is the daily, okay, as well as a quick recap on what we're looking at on the weekly time frame as well as the 4-day. So over here on the daily, we could be putting in a bull flag. We could be, but the price action right now, these candles are not very convincing to me, right? I'm not seeing that confidence I'd like to see. Where would I see the confidence? Well, above here. Simple. We start closing candles above here and we take out these highs over here. I'm going to see that confidence and I'm likely going to add to my position. You're going to see an example of this on the Ethereum charts very, very soon. But over here, right, people might be looking at this as a bull flag, and that's fine. Remember, I'm a bull. I'm a Bitcoin bull, okay? I want Bitcoin to go up. But if I'm going to be putting on a leverage trade, okay, in this area over here against higher time frame resistance, I want to see some confidence. Until then, I'm willing to be patient, sitting on my spot position, and if Bitcoin decides to blow past this region and not give me a chance to enter, I'll just be like, all right, cool, I'm making money anyways. That's the beauty of a bull market. You need to just keep your emotions in control, don't FOMO, and you will still make money. The worst situation is losing money in the bull market, and that's something we try to teach you guys to avoid over here at the Mango community. All right, so be patient, guys. We're looking for candle closes above here, a single daily candle close above here, as well as these two highs being taken out. It's going to be convincing enough for me. And by the way, check out what I drew over here, right? Without even talking about the pattern, what have I drawn over here? This is your symmetrical triangle, right? And look at what I'm looking for confirmation. The break of the symmetrical triangle is these highs over here, because it's the trend that is breaking along with confirmation with the candle closes above the horizontal. So what are we combining over here? Pattern trading, support and resistance, okay, with your resistance over here, as well as trend trading. And the flip side, guys, is the same, okay? You can look at these lows over here, okay? as the lining, or rather the diagonal line of the symmetrical triangle. And if we take out those lows, and especially if you see a candle close underneath this horizontal over here, and if you see both, of course, that's your confirmation for a move towards the downside. So it's if this, then that. The next level I'd be looking for is around 13,800 if we break this towards the downside. So a candle close underneath 14,800-ish. I'd be looking for our next step at around 13,800. However, if we break this level over here, we get that candle close along with these highs being taken out towards the upside on the daily, we're going to be looking towards our next level, and that's coming in at around first 17,000 and then around 19,000. We'll talk about that very, very soon when I switch on over to the weekly. And do I want to talk about anything else over here on the daily? There was something that I'm forgetting. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out the oscillators really quickly. We'll check out what the momentum is telling us, and momentum is pretty healthy overall on the daily time frame. We'll look at the lower time frame just to get an idea of which direction things are angling. But remember what I said, guys, as long as we're above this zone over here, above the 80 zone on the stochastics, hey, things are fine. Okay, on the RSI, however, we are kind of seeing some resistance against the 80 zone, so we try to bounce up to the upside, and we saw some resistance over there. But let's go ahead and check out the 4-hour to see which direction this will be angling. Okay, so the 4-hour, not the best look, but not the worst look either, bouncing off the support area over here at around the 50 zone. Okay, the stochastics, however, crossing towards the downside, momentum towards the downside, seeing rejection of the bullish area that we're looking for. Remember, the daily is living above the 80 zone, right? That's why we want to see the 4-hour live above too, to see the momentum start flipping towards the upside. So now on the stochastics, what I'll be looking for is a cross. Okay, I want to see the similar bounce like we have over here. Okay, but I want to see the momentum swing towards the upside again. That will give us an indication that, hey, we are likely going to be putting in a structure like this. Okay, and yeah, we don't want to see continuation after. Speaking of follow through towards the upside, let's go ahead and talk about the 4-day really quickly before we switch on over to Ethereum. Now we're just doing a quick recap on what we discussed in our videos, well, for months now on the 4-day time frame. It's given us some really nice trades, big trend trade positions. In fact, we did get in a position over here based off the mango dynamic on the 4-day time frame, right? We did close it out a little bit early because of the elections. No regrets there, following the rules, but nonetheless the 4-day time frame has proven its worth. The mango time frame, shh, keep it a secret. Okay, that being said, let's go ahead and mark out the levels that we are looking at on the 4-day time frame. Remember, the weekly is going to have different candle closes. The weekly range over here is coming in at around 19,500, I believe. But yeah, on the 4-day, it's currently at 19,100. We can mark out this little rejection over here too. This attempt to retake, or rather continue this trend, failed to do so, drived down, and of course we're going to mark out this range right over here too. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit to make sure I got it right. And yeah, that's good enough. Now we can go over here, see what's going on. Okay, cool. We're seeing the rejection over here too. Do we break this level? So what we can do now with this region marked out for us, guys, with this region marked out, we know that, hey, this forms a good range now, right? The top of the range, the middle of the range, and the bottom of the range for us to plan our trades if Bitcoin breaks this level. Because currently it's still resistance, right? It's still resistance. If we actually break close above this region, we can turn that into an support zone, or rather Bitcoin has turned it into a support zone as long as it is respected. And we'll know if it's respected if we see a retest and continuation of the retest, right? Now, this is all considering that we actually break this level, and we are kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but I like to do this anyways, so that way I'm mentally prepared for my trades, right? So let's say Bitcoin just blows past these highs over here, okay, and the 4-day doesn't even get a chance to close and just goes straight into this region over here. Well, I'm not going to be taking the trade then, because I've already marked out this level over here, 17,100, as my next resistance level. I know that there's no edge until we actually close above here, and now I want to see this level respected. The middle of the range now turned into support, because until it flips, it is resistance to me, right? So I wouldn't be buying over here because I've mentally prepared myself that that's my level I want to, one, either be taking profits against, or two, as a trend trader, I'll be looking for that level to break so I can feel happy, and then look for the next level to get tested, which is 19,200-ish, right? So this is how I like to frame my scenarios moving forward. I don't like to get a little bit too oracle-y with my trades. I don't want to say, hey, this is what's going to happen, but at the same time I get to plan if this then that scenario. Okay, so on the flip side, again, let's go ahead and delete all of these drawings, at least the squigglies, so that we can clean it up. Okay, on the flip side, if you see a rejection over here, right, on this region, this level is still resistance for now, so we have to treat it as resistance until it actually flips. So if we do see that resistance over here, and then Bitcoin does something like this on the 4-day time frame, well, essentially we will be going into a 4-day downtrend, and we could be looking at a retest of around 11,800 to around, what is that, 11,900, right? This structure over here. Okay, but that is only if we first start seeing a downtrend on the daily time frame. And again, it goes back to the beginning of the video where we talked about this region over here, right? This horizontal over here along with these lows over here, and this is how you see things cascade onto the higher time frames. It's going to be first the daily time frame breaking the symmetrical triangle towards the downside, okay, starting its own downtrend that we just discussed, and then it's going to cascade onto the 4-day that will lead all the way down to this region over here. And look at this, look how choppy this looks on the daily, and the daily, by the way, is a lot cleaner than the 4-hour and the 12-hour respectively, right? Similarly, the 4-day is a lot cleaner than the daily, and this is why I prefer the higher time frames whenever we're trading an asset, especially an asset that can be as explosive and life-changing like Bitcoin, right? I'm pretty sure Bitcoin has already changed a lot of your lives, so you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't need to be regurgitating these things, but yeah, it is what it is. So what happens now in the next day or so, guys, is going to really dictate this structure over here. Because remember, this could be a bull flag that breaks up as long as we take out these highs over here and close candles above 15,620. If we do that, well, we'll be looking towards the middle of a range that we marked on the 4-day at around 17,000. After that, 19,000 to 20,000. But hey, on the same scenario, right, on the symmetrical triangle scenario, we have downside moves that we talked about. First step around 13,800, this structure here. Next step would be this structure over here. Of course, we have these lows to contend with as well. It's not going to happen fast, but it could happen sooner than people think. Okay, so you guys have your if this then that on Bitcoin. Let's switch on over to Ethereum. Now Ethereum, I'm really excited about. I've been waiting for this for a long time, very patiently. You guys know the last trade I did take, again, this isn't a leverage trade, by the way. I just bought spot. The last spot trade I did take a significant amount was when Ethereum came down to this region over here around 309ish, right? Okay, I have my horizontals drawn from way back, so this is an older chart. Okay, cool. So we talked about this a while ago. You guys can go ahead and find the older videos, or you guys can just watch this quick summary. I'll talk about Ethereum more throughout this week, right? Because I think Ethereum is going to start getting exciting. So we bought off this green horizontal line over here. Okay, we've been watching this green horizontal line throughout this entire period. We were very patient for it. We broke towards the upside, went all the way up here, got this retest over here throughout this period. We could have marked this region over here too, right? This zone over here, and look at that, we actually came down and tested it, and that's where we were looking to buy around 309 to 310. I got in an average position around the 312 area, and I've been pretty happy with it, just being patient, not looking to add to my position at all until this happened. This candle close on the weekly was huge. Okay, we got the candle close above 432. This entire zone over here, guys, we kept rejecting 432. We kept rejecting it. Okay, we attempted over here. Okay, it looked good, but nope, immediately got rejected and went down, not only closing underneath, but going and testing the next major level, which is this structure over here. So this structure over here looked very similar to this structure, right? But over here, this time around, we actually bounced back up, continued the trend towards the upside, and in a candle closing basis, guys, we have a new high. Okay, on a candle closing basis, Ethereum has made a new high. And by the way, this is what I mean when I was referring to a level being tested and respected, right? This weekly level over here that we've been talking about, 432, has been resistance for the entire month of August, right? Where Ethereum was attempting to break past and see continuation of this bull flag-like structure, very similar to what Bitcoin is currently doing on the daily. Failed to see it, okay? Saw follow through towards the downside, but got picked up and accumulated along this zone over here, this green horizontal, as well as this white horizontal of this structure. Well, we got picked up, right, off that level, Now we reattempted on the second attempt, broke above last week. Now this week, this current week, we retested, respected on the first attempt. And the reason I'm saying first attempt is because we haven't closed this week just yet. We have 5 days and 12 hours to go. If we can close this week above here, that's going to be confirmation of this level being reclaimed. Now to see continuation, I want to see the previous week, this high, okay, of November 2nd, the week of November 2nd. I want that high to be taken out, and preferably this level over here too, and in that case I'll be looking towards 550. So let's go ahead now. I'm talking about all of this while I have all these scribbles on, and I do apologize for that. Let me delete all of this, get things a little bit neater. These are all old drawings anyways. Okay, so we can keep this yellow horizontal. Okay, I think this is the old chart. So I think it was an entire month ago or 2 months ago where I talked about $10,000 Ethereum, and I posed that scenario, right, where Ethereum could get to 10,000, and I showed you guys how it may sound so unrealistic right now, but under certain conditions panning out with Bitcoin as well, it's not impossible at all. Okay, so if certain things pan out with Bitcoin as well as the Bitcoin chart, the BTC chart, well, we could definitely get 10,000 Ethereum. So do not neglect that possibility, and that's one of the reasons why I'm trading this on the much higher time frames, the monthly as well as the weekly. But I won't talk about that in today's video, perhaps tomorrow's video. If you guys want me to go over it again, leave a comment down below, and hey, I'll be glad to do that sometime. So again, what are we looking at? If we see continuation from this level, if this 435 level is respected, the next resistance level overhead is around 553. But now again, we can do the same thing that we did with Bitcoin. We can say, hey, the level is, or rather this level over here is the top of our range. The 430 zone, 435 to be approximately exact, is the bottom of our zone, and the middle of our zone, what do you know, lines up with this high over here at around $490. So we can go ahead and mark that out too quickly, and we say, hey, we can look for something like this and like this. Okay, in the video we did a month ago, we were looking for exactly this scenario, right? We talked about this so long ago, where we're like, hey, if we break above this level over here, I'm looking for a retest of this 435 zone, and then eventually off to the races. Now, I just drew it really quickly. It's not going to go up in a straight line, but then again, it is Ethereum, so who the hell knows? I'm not going to try to overtrade Ethereum. I'm going to keep it very simple, because I've felt pain trying to get too timey with Ethereum in the past, and hey, I've learned from my mistakes, and I don't want that stress anymore. Okay, so that's Ethereum on the weekly, guys. 432 is support. If we lose that level, we'll be looking towards this region over here around 390-ish, and if we lose that, we're looking at around 340 next, back to the zone again. However, towards the upside, we're looking at 490. If we take a 490, we're looking at 551. If we take a 551, then the middle of the range is coming in at around 665, and then eventually around $800. Yes, that's Ethereum. Alright, so that's it for today's video, guys. There's a lot more to discuss, of course, on Ethereum, but we're going to go ahead and do that throughout the entirety of this week as well as the coming weeks. We'll talk about the monthly time frame as well as the lower time frames, the 4-hour, the 12-hour too, because I'm pretty sure you guys are interested in that. And hey, yeah, if you are interested in those videos, make sure to hit the subscribe, the notifications button, and if you did enjoy this video, hit the like. By the way, a lot of people ask me why I cover Chainlink so much. It's because when I do cover Chainlink, people let me know that they enjoy the content, right? I get a lot of likes on the Chainlink video, and that's how Krisha and I kind of decide that, hey, this content is being consumed and people actually enjoy it, right? If you don't hit the like, I don't know, I have no way of knowing that you guys are enjoying those altcoin videos or not. Alright, so with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.